So we'll start off with a generic triangle, A, B, and C. And we're told that A is 30 degrees, side A is 6, side C is 10, and we can go from there. So our first question is this the only way that this triangle could be drawn? In other words, is this the only option given the 30, 10, and 6? Well, we can find that out by figuring out what h is, or the height of the triangle. And that forms a right triangle on the left, so let's work with the height. And sine of 30 is equal to h over 10. And if we solve for h, 10 sine 30, or 5. And so what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that our h, well, the a is going to be bigger than that h, and so that tells us that it could swing over here. And the only other thing we have to check out before we go ahead is that if that a is bigger than side C, then we would know that it would swing way out here to the left of point A, or corner A. So we double check, and A, being 6, is definitely less than side C, which is 10. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that we have a secondary triangle that also adheres to the 30 degrees, the 10, and the 6. And so that would be in here. So how about on the left, we'll consider the triangle where we have an acute angle C. And on the right, we'll draw our other version of this triangle. And so, again, angle A is going to be 30 degrees. Everything has to be the same. And side C is 10, but we end up having that side A coming backwards, still 6, but just coming backwards. And this would be B, and this would be C. And so we have two triangles to consider. So let's first of all, let's consider that triangle on the left here. And so if we were to move forward with this, we would have to say, sine law would work well. So how about sine C over 10 equals sine, well, we know sine A, so let's do that, sine A and side A. So that means that C is equal to the inverse sine of 10 sine 30 over 6. And if we were to work that all out, we would get 56 degrees. All right, so that's angle C, so we can check that one off. Angle B, well, that's fairly easy. We could just say angle B, and just to be clear, we can mark this as angle, is going to be 180 minus our 30 there, minus our new angle 56, and that comes out to be 94 degrees. So there's our angles for the first option for this triangle. But now we have to move to the second option. So what do we know from this angle here? Well, we know that this angle and this angle would be the same. So we determined that angle C over here was 56, so that means this must be 56 as well. And so angle C would be 180. So on this line, it would be 180 minus our 56, and that is 124 degrees. So we've got our angle C for the second triangle. And so for angle B, what we would do is we would just say, same idea, 180 minus our given 30 minus our new 124, and we work that out and we get 26 degrees. And so here we are, our angle C and our B here. And if we look at it, that makes a lot of sense. 124 is that big obtuse angle in there. And then our angle, the small acute angle up here would be 26 degrees. It all makes sense.